Let me start with the truth. Most men aren't ready to hear. Women don't care how much you sacrifice. They don't care how much you give. And they definitely don't stay loyal just because you treated them well. That's not how female loyalty works. In fact, the more a man tries to earn loyalty by doing things for her, the faster he usually loses it. And tonight, I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because women are loyal, just not to what most men think. Stay with me, because once you understand this, relationships will never confuse you again. Before we dive deeper, a quick message. If you've been learning from my videos and you want to support this work, you can subscribe to me on Facebook with a paid membership, send stars, or join my YouTube channel's paid community. Your support helps me create more powerful content for you, and I truly appreciate every bit of it. All right, now let's continue. The lie we're all taught. Most men are taught a lie. They're told, be nice, be supportive, do more, give more, and she'll stay. So they invest time, energy, attention, money, emotional labor, and for a while, it works. She appreciates it, she enjoys it, she benefits from it, but appreciation is not loyalty, and comfort is not desire. Here's the first psychological truth. Women don't attach to effort. They attach to emotional experience. How they feel around you matters more than anything you do for them. You can give her everything, but if the emotional experience fades, so does her attachment. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Have you ever noticed that some men do very little, yet women stay obsessed with them while other men do everything and still get replaced? That's not luck. That's psychology. The core truth about female loyalty. Here's the core truth. Women are loyal to how a man makes them feel about themselves. Not his effort, not his loyalty, not his consistency. Their loyalty is emotional, not logical. And this is where most men lose their power. They think loyalty is earned by proving value, but female psychology doesn't work like that. The moment a man starts overgiving to secure loyalty, he signals fear of loss, and fear kills attraction. Think about it. When you're constantly trying to prove your worth, what are you really communicating? That you don't believe you're already worthy, that you need to compensate, that you're afraid she'll leave if you stop performing. And women feel this desperation even when it's wrapped in kindness. Now, pay close attention. The second thing women are loyal to is emotional safety, not comfort. Emotional safety doesn't mean predictability. It means confidence, emotional control, stability under pressure, strength without aggression. A man who stays calm when things get tense automatically becomes more valuable because he regulates the emotional environment. And women are loyal to the man who controls emotional gravity. When women actually leave, here's something most people never say out loud. Women don't leave when a man is bad. They leave when a man becomes emotionally weak, when he starts reacting instead of leading, when he seeks validation instead of setting boundaries, when he overslays instead of standing firm. That's when loyalty starts leaking. I've seen it happen countless times. A man who was once confident gradually becomes insecure. He starts asking, "Are we okay?" More often, he needs reassurance after every minor disagreement. He apologizes for things that don't require apologies. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, she begins to disconnect. Not because she's cruel, not because she's ungrateful, but because the emotional experience has fundamentally changed. Now, here comes the part that shocks most men: the power of identity. Women are loyal to identity, not personality, not kindness, not effort. Identity! Who you are, not what you do. If your identity is strong, your actions matter less. If your identity is weak, no amount of actions can save you. That's why women stay loyal to men who walk away when disrespected. Don't beg. Don't overinvest. Don't collapse emotionally. Those behaviors signal high internal value, and loyalty flows upward, never downward. This is a hard pill to swallow. We want to believe that goodness alone is enough, that treating someone well automatically creates loyalty. But human psychology is more complex than that. Respect isn't created by what you give someone, it's created by how you value yourself. Understanding obligation versus loyalty. Let's talk about attraction versus obligation. A woman can feel obligated to you, grateful to you, comfortable with you, and still not feel loyal. Because loyalty requires respect, and respect doesn't come from giving, it comes from self-control. I want you to really understand this distinction. Obligation feels like debt. Loyalty feels like devotion. When woman stays out of obligation, she's mentally keeping score, tallying what you've done, weighing her guilt against her unhappiness. But when a woman is truly loyal, there's no scoreboard. She stays because something deeper is at play. She stays because of who you are, not what you've provided. Here's the next truth, the momentum principle. Women are loyal to momentum. When a man is moving forward in life, she feels pulled into his frame. When he stops growing, she starts emotionally detaching. It doesn't matter how good he was in the past. Female attraction is present-focused. Who you are now matters more than who you were. This is why stagnation kills relationships. Not arguments, not distance, not even conflict. Stagnation. When a man loses direction, she loses emotional alignment, and loyalty fades silently. Think about the relationship when you've seen fall apart. How many of them ended because the man stopped evolving? He got comfortable, stopped pursuing goals, stopped challenging himself, and suddenly the woman who once admired him began looking at him differently. The spark wasn't gone because of what he did wrong. It was gone because he stopped doing anything at all. Now, listen carefully. How a man handles loss matters most. Women are also loyal to how a man handles loss. When things go wrong, when conflict appears, when emotions rise, does he remain grounded or does he fall apart? A man who can lose without losing himself becomes irreplaceable because emotional mastery is rare. Most men collapse when faced with potential loss. They panic. They become reactive. They try to control the situation through force or desperation. But the man who can face loss with dignity, who can say, "I care about you, but I won't beg," that man becomes unforgettable. Here's something subtle but powerful. Women don't test men consciously. They test emotionally. They pull away slightly. They become colder. They create distance not to leave, but to see who you are without reassurance. And how you respond to that test determines everything. If you chase, you fail. If you explain, you fail. If you panic, you fail. But if you remain centered, detached, but present, her loyalty deepens. What women are not loyal to. Now let's talk about what women are not loyal to. They are not loyal to overavailability, emotional dependency, people-pleasing, self-sacrifice without boundaries. Those behaviors feel safe, but safety without attraction creates indifference. And indifference is the beginning of the end. This is where good men lose good women. They think being always available shows love. They think having no other interest shows commitment. They think agreeing with everything shows compatibility. But what it actually shows is a lack of self, and you cannot be loyal to someone who has no self because there's nothing to be loyal to. Here's the biggest mistake men make. Love is not loyalty. They confuse love with loyalty. Love is emotional. Loyalty is respect-based. A woman can love a man and still leave him, but she will struggle to leave a man she respects. Love fluctuates. It rises and falls with circumstances, emotions, and experiences. But respect is structural. It's foundational. A woman might stop feeling in love temporarily, but if the respect remains, so does she. So, what are women truly loyal to? They are loyal to emotional strength, self-respect, direction, identity, and how they feel in a man's presence, not what he does for them. This is why silence sometimes works better than words. Why walking away creates more impact than chasing. Why emotional restraint beats emotional expression. Because restraint signals power. And power attracts loyalty. The real meaning of strength. Let me be clear. This isn't about being cold or manipulative or uncaring. It's about self-containment. A man who doesn't leak his value forces others to feel it. Real strength isn't aggression. It isn't domination. It isn't emotional withdrawal as punishment. Real strength is knowing your value so deeply that you don't need constant validation. It's being able to love someone without needing them to complete you. It's having the courage to walk away from disrespect even when it hurts. When you stop trying to earn loyalty and start embodying value, everything shifts. She listens more, respects more, feels more, and loyalty becomes natural, not forced. Why being too good backfires? If you've ever wondered why being too good backfired, giving more didn't help, or why she pulled away without warning, now you know. It was never about effort. It was about who you were becoming, or more accurately, who you were not becoming. Because when a man stops growing, he starts shrinking in her eyes. Not because women are shallow, but because attraction to growth is hardwired into female psychology. The man who continually evolves, who faces challenges, who develops himself, that man remains attractive. The man who plateaus, who becomes predictable, who stops pursuing excellence, that man becomes invisible even if he's kind, even if he's loyal, even if he does everything right. The final truth. Here's what I need you to understand. Female loyalty isn't about fairness. It's not about justice. It's not about who deserves what. It's about primal psychology that exists beneath conscious awareness. You can fight against it. You can call it unfair. You can wish it were different. Or you can understand it and use that understanding to build better relationships. The choice is yours. But pretending reality is different than it is won't change anything. It'll just leave you confused when your relationships fall apart, despite your best efforts. The truth is simple, even if it's uncomfortable. Women are loyal to strength, not sacrifice. To presence, not presence. To who you are, not what you do. Master this, and loyalty becomes effortless. Ignore this, and you'll spend your life wondering why your best wasn't good enough. If this video gave you clarity, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to check out the other videos on this channel for more wisdom, more truth, and deeper insights into psychology and relationships that most people are afraid to talk about. Because the world won't teach you this, but you need to know it anyway. Bye. My